Good morning. I am meteorologist Steve Krasnowski with your weather briefing storm scoop for October 1st, 2018. My goodness, we are in October. This year is flying. So we have a couple weather features I want to talk about today. I'm going to do the video a little bit different now, kind of give it a couple different chapters. So the first thing we want to do is just talk about, this is going to be the outlook. So what I'm going to try and do in this video is just look out a week or so and just look at the models and have some model discussion, and maybe get into depth on some certain weather eventualities and that sort of thing, just to give a little more of a format. So first thing we're going to jump into is severe storms and weather and anything like that. So we'll talk briefly about Rosa, maybe some storms. Let's just jump right in. Here's the Storm Prediction Center's outlook map for the day. I really don't have anything I'd make changes to. I think some of these areas in the east, let me just bounce back to a regular overview. This is a very, very minimal possibility for storms. You can see with the radar, some storms pushing through the coast of Maine and New Hampshire right now, southern New Hampshire. A line, maybe a rumble of thunder in there, but nothing too significant. But those areas like Chicago is ripe with instability and a chance for more of those severe type storms. We talked about this in our discussion, where that's where we'll see more of those heavier downpours, those straight line winds, winds up to 60 miles an hour, possible tornadoes, and maybe some dime-sized hail. So those are the areas that I think we need to get a little more specific in. Right now, there's no watches in effect, but again, those are the areas we want to keep track of. Tropics. So I'm going to tie this together with the Storm Scoop Outlook. They're going to be the same thing on here, because we're going to talk specifically about Rosa and what that's going to bring. So it is tropical in nature, but the impact is going to be on the continental U.S. in terms of a lot of rain, especially in the areas we were talking about, like the Four Corners, Arizona, Colorado specifically. I'm looking for Utah, a good swath of rain in there. So let's just look at that real quick. So here we are. Here's Rosa, and Rosa's going to be brought in. Here's those Four Corners again. You can see the precip's a bit cut off versus where it was showing maybe a couple days ago, but as you see in the detailed discussion, we are talking about a decent amount of rain, possibly 6 inches up in this area, and still 1 to 2 to 3 in many of these areas. And then it'll get caught up and shot out into Canada. And it does affect part of the Northeast, into upper New England. Looking at northern New York, northern Vermont, northern Maine, that sort of thing. And then that pushes out, and then we have a couple disturbances still riding this zonal flow. So you'll see nothing is really digging in. There's no real troughs. It's just a very zonal flow. I can show you that in a second, but it's just really pretty monotonous, pretty boring. Come right across. Look, one more thing here. Just shot over to the 500 millibar chart. I just want to see, here's Rosa, right? And then here's that next piece of energy entering the Pacific Northwest. That's going to impact Rosa. It's going to kind of form here and right off. So you'll see here they combine. This is Wednesday afternoon, and then shot off on out. Okay, so high pressure moves in. There are many channels out there that are predicting this heat wave of sorts. This is nonsense. This is fall. We're going to have thermal gradients where warm air and cold air will clash. We'll have systems that form because of those clashes, and we might have times where the temperature rises and falls. But there are people out there that are creating a lot of hype train out there to try and get clicks, and people freeze framing model frames to paint the narrative that they're hoping to create, not exactly the weather's narrative. So we can't create the weather, we can only report it, and we can't hope cast. We can do that all we want. It's not going to change anything. So come here for the facts. We'll try and be right every time. Things happen, but Hyping is not something we'll do. Nothing beyond a couple degrees past seasonal is anything we're looking at. So these are all things just to keep in mind. Make sure you choose wisely. Look out for more information this week as we head into the winter season. The winter forecast should be out by the end of the week. We'll give a preliminary idea, and then we'll start setting invitations out for some webinars, so you can come in and talk to our meteorologists and our team and kind of get a little more of what we're thinking, and then hopefully, really find a service with us that will serve your needs, suit them accordingly. So that's coming, and fall is going to be in full swing, and winter is not far out. So get ready. I am meteorologist Steve Kuznowski with your weather briefing Storm Scoop.